no one and stuff there. But also because, again, this is a business, we're far more professional. I'm playing the role of the recruiter when I'm talking to him to get him going and stuff there. And then when we talk about it here, and now it's 4:48, and in about 12 minutes, when I hop on my meeting with him, we're going to go through everything, and he's going to see that's just him and I, and me and him, myself and him. So that might be a little nerve-wracking for him. I don't know if you'd feel pressure if you're the only worker. Maybe if you're the only worker, if you're the only worker. But I as the only boss or so, I feel immense pressure and am very nervous and anxious to make sure and hope that everything goes well. And again, I am quite confident because in our previous semesters, obviously, since we were not a fiscal success on paper, we were most definitely a mental and I would say a professional success, where I provided jobs for other students. I was able to provide their college credit for them at their UVU institute there, at their UVU institution. I was able to provide college credit for them at UVU. And this would count as a real class. So this is a legitimate job there. It's just that it's a startup, and it's run by students, kind of for students there, and you get lots of roles there. So the different roles in this light bulb company, there's actually a lot of things that I thought of. I'm going to go over this with my intern tonight. And again, you're going to have to end this episode and click on episode 2 to see how the meeting went, to see the follow-up of what I learned and how things went. And then, in the future, we'll get the intern on here, hopefully. And I'll also have some other people who have entrepreneur veins in their bodies and stuff there, and have them talk about their businesses and how they discovered things and did things, so we can kind of just have a good conversation, and so I can hear how other people did it too, because there are so many good ways to do things. So these jobs here, I had specified, or I had I had organized 10 different jobs. One was the operations assistant, and this was for 10 different interns. We were hoping to hire a lot, but I only got one in the end. Originally, I had 5 who were set up for it, but then towards the end, they kind of left there and stuff. But the operations assistant is basically just you call it the vice president. He or she just reports to the founder and ensures that all the jobs are happy and well. I wanted a financial specialist who helps budget and manage the company finances. They pay the workers, make sure and with the pay there, this is an unpaid internship. I've always offered it as an unpaid internship. And, but this year, the difference is that if we make a sale, then each of the interns gets an equal cut of the commission across the board, no matter what role you're in. Now, since there's only one intern, we're going to have to do this slower, and he'll learn every job role. And I guess the commission would only be split between him and I and the company to pay our overheads and all that stuff there. Beyond that, there we've got the LED cost specialist, which is just a person that figures out how many bulbs we can buy and how much they cost. Then for marketing, for the communications and public relations majors, there's a social media specialist who just plans, executes, and responds to and oversees all of the social media. We have a geography/GIS specialist, geographic information systems, who would help design, plan, and maintain the records of our serviceable areas so we can keep track of who we've, visited and who we haven't. It's kind of like, I remember back on my mission, when I served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for 2 years in Canada, Montreal, speaking French, oui, and, you had these big maps, the area books and stuff, and you put little pins there and little post-it notes and write in a tiny pen or pencil, okay, here's where we went in this neighborhood, and draw a big old X through this person, if they're interested or they're not interested, and circle this one there. So we need to do that somehow digitally and very well with geography here in the valley of Utah Valley, to get things organized. Are we going to start off in American Fork? Are we going to start off in Provo, around UVU or so? After that, the next job role is the customer service specialist. This would be someone that conducts follow-ups and responds to customers. Then we had a sales lead specialist to train the door knockers who will pitch the pricing plans to homeowners, as well as I honestly believe, I believe, and I guess I don't know for sure because unfortunately, I don't have the data, and that's one of the no-nos with starting a new business. You need to get some data first before you go into it. But our three main customers are homeowners, landlords, and businesses. We want homeowners because there's residents, there's homeowners all over the place. People live all over the place. Everyone has light bulbs in their house. Lots of people have old light bulbs in their house. They probably have the halogens or incandescents, very few LEDs. The next is the landlords. If you think down in Orem and Provo, around UVU and BYU, maybe if you thought even in Salt Lake around the U or the other colleges, towns and stuff there, a lot of students live there. A lot of students hang out in apartments. So perhaps landlords might be interested in converting maybe 10 or 15 X amount of light bulbs to LED light bulbs. And that can save them some fair money down the road over time, and it would pay off there. There's lots of those. Say we just go to a complex and say, we knock on their door and say, hey, you've got 10 units in here. How about we sell you 10 light bulbs for each unit for a couple bucks a piece? After that, we want to go and look into small businesses. Maybe a small hole-in-the-wall shop or a small, cozy, cool, trendy place. Or maybe it's just a normal office that has some sad, dark, and dreary lights, and it's kind of like a dark yellow submarine in there because they've got these yellow, orangey, like those weird orange street lights and stuff there. So that's who we're going after, is homeowners, landlords, and businesses. I don't know what you think might be the best. I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think homeowners would be most interested in this? Landlords over their apartments, for colleges, or small businesses? Maybe their entryway above the cashier or in the bathroom hallways or the work break rooms and stuff there. So I'm not sure who would be the most lucrative or who would be the most responsive. You're more than welcome to reach out and contact us. You can send an email to me at Derek@DollarProbs.com. That is my name, DEREK @DollarProbs.com. DollarProbs.com. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or if you know me personally and you have some other way, I've got my phone number or other emails and stuff. I've got like 12 email accounts actually. I have this unwanted addiction towards email accounts. And so maybe I could get a show on TLC for that. But send me your thoughts. I'd love to know. Just give me a 2 cents what you think. Yes or no? Homeowners, landlords, and stuff there. What else do you think about these job descriptions? Are these good job descriptions? Are they things that could work out? Then the 10th job description, I may have lost track if you were counting, is kind of like a baby startup within a baby startup, within a new startup. It's an emergency kit curator, someone who would source and deliver ultimate luxury DollarProbs 72-hour kits to customers. This was inspired because of the earthquake that we had in Utah back in March, right? Like as the pandemic gripped the world and all the schools here in Utah shut down and the businesses in like the middle of March. This is about March 14th or 15th or about the week of the 15th about, give or take a few days. And people were just going crazy. During that time, there was no toilet paper in the stores. And obviously we know what happened since then and stuff, how things have fared out. So I thought maybe people, if this second wave that people are afraid of in the fall when school starts, and now that we're 2 weeks into the first week of school for Alpine School District, I think they only had about 20 cases in the schools and stuff of coronavirus testing positive in kids and stuff there. And so I thought, well, maybe if it gets bigger and worse, people will want to stock up on emergencies because, we all have a legitimate fear that, an emergency can happen anytime. With all the hurricanes and other natural disasters and all those crazy things in life, I thought an emergency kit on top of selling light bulbs might be good. And these aren't just like those. I mean, also because like emergency kits at the time during March and April were sold out online. I was looking at websites upon websites after website, and you could not buy any of them. They were all sold out. And so I thought, well, now that we've cooled off towards the end of summer, let's stock up on that so we can we can have a new product line, a new revenue stream potentially. And these aren't just the dumb, simple kits. These would be like big $500, $400, $500, $600 boxes that you could stick in your car trunk so they'd be ready to go. And they'd have lots of stuff in it: food, water, medicine, supplies, gear, first aid kit and stuff there, all this medical stuff there. And it's already in your car ready to go with some extra space so you can put clothes in and whatever else you want in there. So it's just a few minutes before I'm meeting with the intern, so I definitely appreciate you listening here. This is the first podcast. It's rough. I'm obviously nervous, and telling the real story. I mean, this is a raw podcast. The only editing is just me stuttering and the awkward gaps I've cut out, which there's been like 3 so far. But the rest of it, really, because I'm not a tech person, there's no fancy editing where we're going to make, we're going to put filters over our voices and all that cool stuff. This is just the real deal, just talking about it and saying, okay, what can I do to start a company? And I want to share the story so people can follow along to know, how did the company go this week? Because you know as much as I do. And, whatever happens next week can be affected by you. And so hopefully, of course, maybe you want to buy light bulbs down the road if we can prove ourselves worthy of your wallets. But in the meantime, I hope everything goes well, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. The next podcast will be in a week about. I promise eventually I will get a schedule, but about once a week. And they'll just be loaded anywhere you can find podcasts on all the major platforms and the little baby platforms too. So again, my name is Derek Shumway. I'm your host on the DollarProbs podcast, following a startup step by step. And this is me signing off, and have a great rest of the evening. Goodbye.